He's trying to play this like, well, the thing got squashed and the source was never revealed. And look how ignore the fact that it's actually her husband who's doing all this with a power trip.
But she didn't care about the evidence. The evidence didn't matter.
What happens when America's golden girl gets tangled in a mess of deception? Blake Lively's legal breakdown is shaking Hollywood to its core as damning proof comes to light. What accusations are being made? And could this be the final blow to her carefully polished reputation? Don't go anywhere. This is more serious than it seems.
Apparently, this is all Ryan's idea. He's the one who pushed to fight back, as now Yahoo's reporting, fighting back against Candace and Perez. I just find it so funny they didn't mention me, but I'm the only one who actually has a history with Ryan. It's just what's so funny about all this, Nate, is no one considers us to be journalists. Meanwhile, the people reporting on it are dumb as bricks who do zero research, have zero intel. I've literally worked with Ryan. If anybody did any more homework, they'd know. Oh, he would have even.
Blake Lively has always been Hollywood's golden child. But is that polished image just an illusion? For years, she's been celebrated not only for her acting skills but also for how she skillfully shaped public opinion. Through relatable interviews, a storybook marriage with Ryan Reynolds, and a signature blend of high fashion and down-to-earth charm that made her wildly popular. From the outside, her life looked perfect. Almost frustratingly so. People believed in her authenticity because, honestly, she sold it incredibly well. But now, deep cracks are starting to appear, forcing everyone to question whether her image was ever real. Just take a look at her interviews. She often plays the quirky, relatable mom who balances fame and family life without breaking a sweat. Fans adored her humorous parenting anecdotes and playful banter with Ryan, which frequently went viral. She painted a picture of being just like the rest of us, only in designer heels, and people found comfort in that. Her red carpet moments only strengthened the illusion. Even when dressed in expensive couture, she still came across as approachable. And her marriage? It became a whole brand of its own, so perfect, even the skeptics wanted to believe it. But now, that ideal image is showing serious cracks. This legal drama is turning everything upside down. Allegations of dishonesty and stalling tactics might reveal a side of Blake that fans never imagined, and may not be able to forgive. She's being accused of using legal maneuvers not just to defend herself, but to delay the process and dodge the tough questions that could ruin her reputation. The trust she spent years earning may be slipping away fast. Think back to that moment a few years ago when she paid off overdue library fines for struggling families in her hometown. It felt spontaneous, generous, even sweet. Fans loved it. But with the courtroom heat rising, even that moment feels strategic now. Was it genuine? Or just another calculated PR move? The truth is, we admire celebrities because they seem larger than life. But when their fantasy collides with reality, it stings. And right now, what's unfolding in court stands in complete contrast to Blake's public image. It's becoming harder not to feel misled. What's about to be revealed might be the breaking point, the moment her carefully crafted reputation collapses under pressure. And that first crack? It's already here. Just wait until you hear what Blake's legal team allegedly tried to pull. You won't believe it.
Thing she was actually doing. A lot of people had no clue about the case. She made it clear she didn't watch the case. She kind of just jumps in and does this online to sort of go after YouTubers, use their names for clicks, and then go rage bait everybody in it and sort of get these little niche groups to get pissed and really get the traffic in. And then that's how she succeeds, because her articles would otherwise get no clicks, but she gets hate clicks through all this nonsense. And so I exposed her. I released the whole audio, and then she claimed it was edited, which it wasn't. That's defamatory. You know it wasn't edited, Kat. And then she wrote a hit piece about me, Nate. She spent months. She spent months writing this hit piece. And oh my God, like I do want to find it quick, because I had Chris Melcher on and like just laugh at how defamatory and ridiculous it was that NBC News even did this. I heard they tried to get everybody on the record, and the only people they could get were literal psychopaths, like the worst of the worst, who like hate me so much. Like not a single neutral source, only the worst of the worst who like troll me. They literally got like my anonymous trolls, and like he was canceled during the Me Too. Now he's using YouTube to attack celebrity accusers. This article was a laughing stock. It was awful. But anyway, she did this because I went after her and I exposed her.
Yeah.
Anyway, I give you all this backstory because I want you to be prepared. Like, don't take the bait. Don't do it. That's what she wants you to do. She now wants all the Justin Baldoni people to go after. She calls out Chersty in this, and Chersty took the bait and wrote a big thing. And I messaged her. I'm like, say your piece, but don't keep engaging because that's all. This is what she banks on. Now she's in the New York Times. This is the New York Times opinion guest essay, Nate. The same rag that got the intel before everybody else without giving Justin his fair share. And now they're pulling in cat.
What happens when a top-tier Hollywood actress relies on a defense so outrageous it practically collapses under its own weight? In Blake Lively's case, her attempt to dodge giving testimony pushed courtroom drama into unbelievable territory when her legal team introduced one of the strangest excuses we've seen yet. According to official court documents, her attorneys claimed they couldn't move forward with her deposition because they supposedly needed time to review, brace yourself, 50,000 hours of footage from her latest film project. Yes, 50,000. That's over 5.5 years of continuous viewing without a single break. You don't have to be a math expert to realize how absurd that number is. Here's the reality. The movie in question, It Ends With Us, had a fairly normal filming schedule, wrapping in just 37 days. Blake herself was only on set for 32 of those. The total amount of footage? Less than 150 hours. Yet somehow, her legal team stuck to that wild 50,000-hour figure, hoping the court, and the public, would buy into it. As expected, that claim didn't survive even basic questioning. The court tore it to shreds. One insider didn't hold back, calling it exactly what it was, a flat-out lie. And honestly, that's hard to argue with. But the absurdity doesn't end there. Not only was the math completely off, but the logic behind the excuse made no sense either. One courtroom observer openly questioned why Blake's team even needed to review the footage. After all, she was physically present during filming. She acted in those scenes. She experienced them firsthand. As one source bluntly asked, "Why do you need film to remind you of what you lived through? You were there. You made the claims. It's in your own lawsuit." That straightforward question cuts to the core of the issue, and reveals why this whole argument felt more like a delay tactic than a real necessity. And it gets worse. The fallout from this excuse didn't just expose a shaky legal strategy, it also raised serious questions about Blake's own honesty. If her lawyers were willing to throw out such an exaggerated figure just to buy more time, what else might they be trying to conceal? This wasn't just an innocent mistake or a small miscalculation. It looked like a deliberate move, one meant to stall the process long enough to possibly revise their entire defense plan. But the more they tried to stand by it, the more obvious their intentions became. For someone like Blake Lively, who has built an entire career on being polished, composed, and trustworthy, this kind of misrepresentation does more than delay a court hearing. It chips away at the very reputation she spent years building. And if this was only the opening argument, you have to wonder what else might be coming. Justin Baldoni's attorney seems determined to find out. And based on what we've seen so far, the truth may end up doing even more damage than this botched legal strategy. So the real question is, what does he know that has Blake's legal team scrambling? Stay tuned.
Didn't care about the evidence. The evidence didn't matter to her. She didn't care about anything that she heard in the media or during the trial. She just knew Johnny Depp was an abuser, and there was nothing that was going to change her mind. And that was the issue that we were all having with her, was like, well, hold on. Here is clear evidence that she's lying. Matter of fact, she literally changed her testimony on the stand. Day one, she said something. She came back and said something completely different. And you know what she said? Amber Heard, I'm talking about. She said, "Oh, I misremembered when I told you guys I would never forget it. Oh, I actually misremembered, forgot it, and now I got to tell you a totally different story." Like things like that, we were supposed to believe. We were supposed to believe that when Amber Heard said, "I donated the money," and she kept it for herself, that actually meant she donated the money. Like
Donated.
all of these
Not
things.
pledged.
So
Donated.
when Kat Timbarge, when we and her were having our little Twitter beef, the issue kept coming up. It's like, why is every man presumptively guilty? Why can't we evaluate the evidence? Why can't we say, well, this doesn't make sense in this context? And her response essentially was that women have been going through this for hundreds of millions of years, and now we should just believe them, even if they are lying, even if we know definitively the woman's, we should still believe her. And I don't accept that premise. I believe that we believe facts and evidence. So right now, I think she's trying to make a comeback with the whole, now it's Justin Baldoni. But the issue is that when you look at the facts and evidence that come out about this case, it seems to be the same thing. Blake Lively, unfortunately, everybody would have to be wrong. Taylor Swift would have to be wrong. All the staff and crew would have to be wrong, right? There are like a few people who are on her side, but the vast majority of everybody's saying none of this stuff happened. This is all wrong. But Kat Timbarge sees that and says,
Justin Baldoni's attorney, Brian Friedman, is applying a level of sharp focus and tactical pressure that could place Blake Lively's entire legal defense under intense scrutiny. Known for cutting straight to the facts, Friedman has made it crystal clear. He plans to dissect every detail of her testimony. And he's doing it under oath, where even the slightest inconsistency isn't just embarrassing, it's legally risky. His secret weapon. A mix of video clips, text exchanges, and emails. All of which, he claims, will prove that Lively's statements don't line up with the actual evidence. Friedman hasn't been subtle about his plan. In a statement to TMZ, he said, "I'm going to question her under penalty of perjury. She'll have to provide documentation, and she'll have to tell the real version of events. We have the recordings, the footage, the texts, the emails. We're going to test how truthful her story really is." His calm confidence stands in sharp contrast to the apparent chaos and delays coming from Lively's legal team. It makes you wonder, what's in those files that has her side scrambling to avoid the spotlight? And this goes far beyond legal games. The stakes for Blake Lively are sky high. If her testimony doesn't match what Friedman brings forward, the fallout won't just be public humiliation. It could lead to criminal consequences. Perjury isn't just bad press, it's a felony. Sources close to the matter say Friedman's approach is to corner Lively into a situation where lying is no longer an option. Even the smallest contradiction could cause her entire version of events to collapse. And the situation keeps getting messier. Lively's camp has reportedly issued multiple subpoenas, some to influencers and digital creators, in what appears to be a last-ditch effort to manage the narrative. Insiders say some of those subpoenas look more like fishing expeditions aimed at discovering how much Friedman already knows. Because this isn't just about Blake's testimony anymore. He's targeting the full media framework built around the case. That brings up the real question, what's still out there that we haven't seen yet? Friedman's quiet confidence suggests more damaging revelations are coming. Pieces of evidence that could take this from messy to explosive. Between the tapes, the messages, and the reach for outside voices, this clearly isn't just a simple he said she said. The paper trail tells another story entirely. One of a celebrity in crisis mode, trying to maintain an image rather than reveal the truth. And with every step Friedman takes, that image seems closer to falling apart. But one big unknown still lingers. Where does Ryan Reynolds fit into all this? Because at this point, his silence might be saying more than any statement ever could.
What's the example? Well, recent example is the affidavit by Friedman wrote that they received a phone call on Valentine's Day from a person closely linked to Taylor Swift. He claimed Lively and basically Taylor Swift's lawyer Blake asked Taylor Swift to post something or else. That was what we heard, right? And that was a pretty damning thing. Suddenly, the sources came out as to it was Taylor Swift's father. Now, they weren't able to present that then. Now, to be fair, I'm still waiting for that to get confirmed. But, she's trying to play this like, well, the thing got squashed and the source was never revealed. And look how many outlets reported. And this is not fair. It's like, girl, I thought you were a pop culture reporter. Taylor Swift could have ended this months ago. Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan effing Reynolds, you're telling me there's no smoke here? That there's actually something wrong? It is clear to me as day Taylor Swift is upset with Blake Lively. It is clear today that her parents are very protective and don't like Blake Lively out there dragging her daughter into all of this. So this whole implication, this is crazy, and that we went off on a whole thing to drag Taylor in because we're misogynists and Blake because we're misogynists. It just shows you how terrible of a reporter she is. And you're right. Thank God they put it as an opinion, as a guest essay. Do you think I can get one of these now, Nate? Can I do a follow-up? I want to write an opinion guest essay for the New York Times. Maybe we should team up. Maybe the together. I want to write an opinion. Guys, how do we get to the New York Times? I thought they liked diverse voices. Let's hear the other side of this. Oh, man, that'd be amazing. But anyway, what a ridiculous thing.
Before you go, remember the source that she had from Twitter?
Oh my God!
The source, and then we found out the source was like a fire.
The child that she was using that she didn't even vet as a real person, and was using her as her proof. Oh my God! Yeah, I literally there was so much I've forgotten it. She was literally using this like a ghost account, anonymous troll who was allegedly admitted. Now I don't even know who it was, but they admitted to me that they were a minor. And that's who Kat Dembarge was using as a freaking source.
Yeah, like, oh, this person has so much knowledge. This person is so. But I was like, this person's shouldn't even be on Twitter. It got to that level. Who the source is. You're just believing some ghost account on Twitter was how Kat Dembarge got her information. No wonder she got fired by NBC News, and her whole department was found redundant. And now, what does she got to do to be relevant? Now she's got to be like every other independent person. Now she's trying to build it up, and she's using Justin, Blake, and now the misogyny to outrage Kirsty and everybody else to attempt to get the attention. I should have taken the bait. To be honest, we shouldn't have taken the bait. But I only want to take this bait to warn you all. No more. Don't take it again. Be prepared. You can go look up any Kat Dembarge video on Popcorn Planet. They're all still there. They were not edited, Kat. Nothing I did was edited. You absolute defamatory liar. You fired disgrace. I'm not. I fought hard, and I'm proud of what we did against her. And her piece is a joke. It was an absolute joke. So be prepared, be ready. But also beyond even just that whole nothing burger of her, just the fact that now the New York Times is back to this playbook, just to me looks so bad. Like they already were so caught sort of crapping on Justin, not giving him the time that they promised alone is a reason to be like, look shady. But now they're getting guest essays from complete hacks to play up the misogyny card. That just shows.
Why wasn't Ryan Reynolds by Blake Lively's side during one of the most high-pressure moments of her legal battle? According to insiders, Blake's legal advisors specifically recommended that Reynolds steer clear of her deposition. Their reasoning? His celebrity presence and magnetic persona would have created a distraction. But this wasn't just about keeping the courtroom focused, it was about shaping the narrative. Her team reportedly wanted to make sure all attention stayed on the legal arguments, not on a Hollywood superstar seated in the room. But is that really the full story? Some sources say Reynolds himself became irritated over being pushed to the sidelines. Imagine being one half of a power couple and being told to stay out of a pivotal legal moment. One insider claims Blake went along with the plan, hesitantly. It wasn't an easy call, which only shows how serious this case really is. This isn't your average tabloid headline, it's real consequences, real stakes. And while Ryan followed the advice, reports say he's still watching closely from the background. Allegedly, he's seen the full deposition tapes and has access to transcripts, quietly analyzing every moment, likely measuring the fallout. But his silent involvement only sparks more curiosity. While his absence may have been strategic, many can't help but wonder if it hints at deeper issues. For years, they've marketed themselves as the ultimate Hollywood couple, unshakable, united, supportive. But when Blake faced her biggest public challenge, he was nowhere to be seen. The contrast is hard to ignore. This was the duo known for turning life's chaos into inside jokes, and now, Blake stands alone in the fire. Could this silence suggest something more personal going on behind the scenes? Meanwhile, the internet rumor mill is working overtime. Media figure Andy Signore even described Ryan's absence as shocking, highlighting how Blake's own legal team reportedly insisted he stay out of it. But think about it. Would his presence have helped by generating sympathy or harmed things by shifting focus away from the case? Either way, the risk was real, and Blake's team wasn't willing to take it. Still, keeping him away carries its own consequences. People notice. People talk. Is this just smart legal strategy, or is Reynolds quietly distancing himself? That decision now hovers over the case, not because it came from nowhere, but because of what it might reveal about their private dynamics. With Ryan out of view to avoid disruption, it begs the question, is that silence a tactical move, or does it speak louder than any courtroom statement? Either way, it changes the narrative. But things are about to take an even darker turn. In a shocking development, Blake's legal team is accused of orchestrating one of the most questionable tactics yet, a fake company. Yes, according to filings, a bogus firm named Vanzum was allegedly created to secretly gain access to private phone records. Not just anyone's records. Jennifer Abels, a woman believed to possess text messages that could destroy Blake's legal position. Here's how it unfolded. The so-called company was flagged during legal questioning when Abel challenged whether the firm even existed. She pushed back hard, demanding documents to expose the truth. Shockingly, the court agreed with her and granted her motion to compel evidence related to Vanzum. In legal terms, this means Abel now has the right to dig into files and pursue discovery, changing the course of the case. The judge's decision wasn't just procedural, it was powerful. Granting Request 9 sent a clear message. This wasn't just a routine mistake, it raised major ethical concerns. The idea that Blake's team would resort to such tactics paints a troubling picture. Why form a fake company to grab someone's personal data unless you're terrified of what that data might show? And we need to talk about those messages. While the texts haven't been made public, the intense effort to access them almost feels like a silent confession. They might be damaging enough to crush her defense. Rather than face the claims directly, her team appears to have taken a secretive route, and now that choice is backfiring. What does this reveal about their priorities? If they're willing to bend the rules this far, what else could they be hiding? Is this the final scandal, or just the beginning? For Blake, this may be the most reputation-shattering development yet. A fake company isn't just bad optics, it's a potential legal and moral disaster. It puts everything about her so-called golden girl image at risk. This case has exposed more than courtroom stunts, it's ripped the mask off a carefully maintained public persona. From false claims and legal delays to shady backdoor tactics, the pattern suggests panic, not precision. What does this mean for her future in Hollywood? The public trust she's spent over a decade building is rapidly eroding, and this scandal could leave a permanent mark. But the biggest question still hangs in the air. Can Blake recover from this? Or is her clean-cut legacy finally unraveling? Let us know what you think below, and don't miss what's coming next. The biggest twist might still be ahead.